Welcome to What's Cooking Show, everybody. I'm Joey Quibido with Cash Saver and Piggly Wiggly here in Opelousas.
I'm Chef Jason Huguet from right here at Steamboat in Washington.
And we have a special guest, which is our own Jason. And he's cooking a very nice dessert for us today, which I love to death. So he's going to show us exactly how to do it. So join us back for more What's Cooking in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Again, Jason's here making us a very nice dessert today. So Jason, let's get started, sir.
Okay, so today we're going to be making tres leche cake, which really means 3 milks.
3 milks,
Right.
yes.
So this is actually one of my favorite little desserts to make and to eat.
I love
so,
it.
Right, simple, very simple. What I like about it, it's not like overly sweet. It's not like boom. So after, you come to Steamboat, have your nice little meal, it's not like, even if you don't have a whole lot of room left, you can still kind of indulge.
It's still, yeah, a light dessert. Okay, when you
Right.
say 3 milk, what 3 milks are we talking about?
Well, so basically we make this little cake. It's like a little light sponge cake, basically. The 3 milks that I use, and it varies.
Everybody has different, yeah.
Usually sweetened condensed milk, which we're gonna use today, some evaporated milk, and also some whole milk. I take the whole milk and swap it for heavy cream, just to give it a little more
Body?
good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So basically the cake batter we're gonna be making today starts with a cup of flour. Just take a little bit of flour, some baking powder, a little bit of baking powder right here. It's about a teaspoon and a half. I'll make sure you get all that out there. And salt. Simple so far. So we just want to kind of mix all that around.
Always the best cake batter is from scratch.
Yes.
I mean, you can get it from the box, but still, from scratch is always better.
Yes, not. So I'm gonna put this to the side.
Okay.
Basically, we're putting all of the dry ingredients, and then we're gonna mix all of the, the wet ingredients, and we're gonna mix them together. And what we're gonna do is take the egg whites,
Okay.
and we're gonna whip that up, and then add that to the cake batter. And what that's gonna do is really lighten it up and make it really like a little soft, airy type of cake when it comes out.
They pretty much act like a meringue to the mix.
Right.
Gotcha.
So basically, we're just gonna take some egg yolks. Just wanna whip them a little bit, just kind of real lightly. And we're gonna add some sugar. 3/4 of a cup. And you can use your KitchenAid mixer, stand mixer, for this portion. I like to just kind of do it
around
myself.
yourself,
All right.
yeah.
That's one less bowl you have to clean.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
So just want to get that in there. My eggs are still cold, so it's kind of trying to hold on.
Gotcha.
So to that, we are going to mix just a little bit of vitamin D whole milk.
Okay.
Very simple. Just kind of let that go a bit.
Now, Jason, I noticed that you've been running this on your menu as your desserts on the specials and stuff.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's been selling a lot. It sells a lot, and what I was very pleased to see that I normally don't see as much, but this past weekend, like to-go orders, you put it on, kind of put it on Facebook, kind of advertise a little bit.
Right.
And to-go orders, man, we had like just regular to-go orders for the night or the weekend, and they would have, some tickets 2 and 3 orders of it to go, which was, it's pretty cool.
Well, speaking about to-go orders, I just understood that you've been accepted on Waiter. Now everybody can order through Waiter.
Right.
With the boat.
And yesterday was actually the first day of sign up. It usually takes 20 days or a few more maybe to actually get it rolling.
Get everything rolling, okay.
So we're still in the early stages of it. We still have some things to do, but we're excited to try it out and see how it goes. Hopefully everybody, accepts it and takes it, and kind of excited to see, start it up and see how it
It is
works.
exciting, really exciting. Good luck to you on that.
Right. So, okay, so to our egg, sugar, and milk mixture, we're gonna add a little bit of vanilla. Now, I'm gonna come over here. Let's see, I'm gonna put that right here. On the side, Joey. I'm gonna add all these wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. So make sure we get all that.
I love those specials like that. You get every drop out of it. I love those things.
If it wasn't for that, it's like, how would I get all that out?
Yeah.
So at this point, you just want to get all this incorporated.
Mm-hmm. I like a baking process, Jason. About how long do you think it actually takes to cook these steaks?
I put these in, I have like a little alto sham is what it's called. And it's kind of like a slow roaster, but it's not a harsh heat. It's not like a dry heat. And I put it in there. It usually takes me 30 to 40 minutes, usually around the 40-minute area. Of course, you just stick it with a little toothpick or something and make sure that it's fully cooked inside.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
So this is basically our batter. What we want to do again, as we said earlier, we're going to take our KitchenAid and we're going to add egg whites. Now, what I didn't mention earlier was this recipe takes 5 eggs and you separate the yolks and the whites and you keep them both. You saw we use the egg yolks. So right now we're gonna start our egg whites. And at this point, what you want to do is kind of let your egg whites get a little frothy. And you'll see in a second what it looks like. And so you just kind of let it go about 2-3 minutes, and you'll see it's starting to get what they call frothy.
Right.
And so we're gonna add to that a 1/4 cup of sugar. But what you don't want to do is once you start whipping your eggs, you don't want to dunk all the sugar all at one time.
Right
it's
away.
gonna deflate it. So what you want to do is this is pretty much what you're looking for.
So basically, when it rises up, you just add a little bit of sugar at a time. That way, it keeps it.
Right.
It makes it kind of stiff.
But the air that it's whipping into it now, it doesn't make it fall and you waste it.
Gotcha.
You could also use powdered sugar at this point, but this recipe calls for just regular granulated sugar.
It's just like the same thing. It's almost like making a meringue for a lemon meringue pie or from scratch, right?
Basically, it's what it is. It's a meringue. I mean,
Right. It just takes a few minutes to whip it up and it comes right up.
Yeah. This one, some recipes call for stiff peaks. Some of them, call for soft peaks.
Okay.
This recipe calls for stiff peaks. You want a good stiff, right? And what that means for people at home that don't know, when you pull your whisk out of your whip out of from your KitchenAid, what you'll see is a peak. Basically, like if it stands up and stays up when you take your whisk out of it, then it's stiff peaks. If it falls back down, it's not finished yet.
Gotcha.
So now all our sugar is in there. Now what we have to do is wait for it to whip up.
Now, basically, when you're breaking your eggs, the way I was learned or taught really was when you break your eggs and separate them, you have to make sure that the yellow doesn't mix with the white.
Right.
Because the yellow will make the white not rise.
Right.
Is that correct?
It won't. It's happened to me before.
A lot of times, yeah.
And the first couple of times you're thinking, what's going on? Like what I did, and it won't
rise up.
Right. So really, what you're doing is just whipping air into it. You could do this by hand, but it would take you hours, and it'd cost you an arm. So, so it looks really good. So while we're waiting on that, it's gonna take a few minutes. Why don't we take a quick break, Joey?
Sounds good.
And we'll come back and show them how to incorporate it into the batter.
Okay, sounds good. Join us back in more What's Cooking. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Again, Jason's here making that very special dessert, Tres Leches.
Yes. Trace.
You got me. Last segment, I got you, dog. You got me. Okay.
Okay.
Where we at?
So while we're at the break, our egg whites kind of pretty much done. So I'm gonna turn it off, check it. Looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. Get our excess off of there. Joey, you wanna put that in the bowl? All right, so you see our meringue, our whipped egg whites is just perfect. Perfect amount of air.
Oh, you just want to like fold that into the mix, or?
Yeah, gently. But I like to use a whisk to fold it in because it's actually a lot
Gotcha.
easier to do. So you just want to kind of fold that in. All right,
It's all
So now-
folded in now?
it's all ready to go. So this is what we're gonna do. Take your little pan, 9 by 13, and you just want to coat it. You can grease it with whatever you want. I'm gonna use a little pan coating. Now I want to get this excess off of here. All right, Tracy.
Switch.
And I'm just going to get all that in the pan. I just want to make sure that you get it all out of here, and you want to make sure that it's all even in your baking pan, so that way it cooks evenly. Just want to make sure you get it all just like that.
Again, like you said, it takes like about 35 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, 30 to 40 minutes. You're gonna put it at 350. Every oven's different though, so if you want to maybe turn it down a little bit, and maybe it would take a little longer to cook, but it wouldn't, it wouldn't burn it or anything. So,
Okay.
so what you want to do is cook it, and whenever you check it, you want to stick something in there to make sure that it's comes out clean. If it comes out like this is what you're looking for. This is what's gonna pretty much. Basically, when it's in the oven, when it's cooking with the baking powder in it, it's gonna be rising really high, and when you pull it out, it's gonna kind of sit a little bit.
Okay.
So what you want to do is cool it off. I put it in the refrigerator, and you see those little holes. You can take a fork or toothpicks or whatever, and just you basically want to poke as many holes as you can in it. And so at that point, what you're gonna do is take your 3 milks. And so we're going to have to use this little whisk right here. We got our sweetened condensed milk in the bowl already. And so then we're gonna take some evaporated milk. That's basically your second milk.
Okay.
And just wanna kinda, that sweetened condensed milk is so much more, it's thicker and it's more,
Dense.
yeah, so it's a little bit harder. At first it's like mixing oil and water, but
Gotcha.
it'll be all right. And again, normally people will use like a whole milk or something like that. I'm gonna use a little heavy cream, that's my third. So, Trace, Leches.
Gotcha. Speaking about that, all the fresh ingredients that Jason's using here today can be found at your local Piggly Wiggly stores or Cash Saver here in Opelousas or the surrounding area. And you can contact us. I'm at the Cash Saver on the south side. And the number-
1305 Heather Drive.
That's it.
948-8199.
And the Northside Pig.
8410 Highway 182 North, and that's 948-9427.
And that's it. You can talk to either one of us and we'll get all the fresh ingredients that you need.
Call Miss B or Paula.
That's at the north side, or you can call me, and we'll take care of all the special needs that you need. We have fresh meat, produce, milk, whatever you need. We got,
Everything.
any kind of desserts you see online, like with the show and everything. Just come by and get all your ingredients. We'll be glad to take care of you.
So, Joe, I'm gonna show everyone at home real quickly.
Okay.
So once your cake has cooled off and you've poked all the holes you want in it, basically just want to pour this over the top.
I was gonna ask you, Jason, what's the
Evenly.
purpose for the hose? But it's actually to let the milk soak into the cake?
Right. It's kind of like, poke cakes,
Okay.
which is a dessert type, I guess you'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
But if you let this sit, you need to let this sit at least an hour. But if you let it sit, usually I let it sit overnight if I have time.
Mm-hmm.
But all that goodness is just gonna sit there and just soak up in that cake.
Okay, now tres leches, is that like a Spanish word for 3 milks?
Yeah, Spanish.
Okay,
Trace, 3, and leches is milk.
milk.
So at this
Gotcha.
point, what you want to do again, you want to let it sit at least an hour, preferably overnight, and then the only thing left to do is the topping. So I mean, you can go to the store and buy Cool Whip, but it's always best, in my opinion, to make your own.
Homemade,
Right.
definitely.
So right here in this mixing bowl, we have a pint of heavy cream,
Okay.
and we also have some powdered sugar that I added earlier. So we're gonna whip this also. And last ingredient we have is some more vanilla extract.
Vanilla. Gotcha. All right,
So-
we're gonna go ahead and whip that together, Jason, and we're gonna take another short break, and we're gonna come back and finish our wonderful dessert. Join us back for more What's Cooking. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Okay, Jason's gonna finish up our wonderful 3 milk cake,
Yep.
tres leches. Okay, Jason, we got the topping that we got going there. We got our cake that was baked, and you said it sat overnight.
Yep.
So where do we go from here?
Okay, first of all, I think our cream is ready to go.
Okay.
So we whipped our heavy cream, powdered sugar, and vanilla, and we got it to the perfect consistency. So this is the finished product as far as your cake goes. This one has been sitting overnight in these 3 milks and just soaking up all the good stuff.
Good taste. Yes, yes, yes.
So I just want to show everyone at home that so whenever I make this at the steamboat, before I put all my topping and everything, I like to cut it beforehand because I don't like to put the topping on it and then start cutting all like that, and it just kind of messes up your topping. It doesn't look as appealing as it should.
Gotcha.
Now, to cut this at the restaurant, I don't like to cut them too small. I like to give the customers a decent sized portion. Although desserts, if you've had a 2 or 3 course meal by this point, you probably don't really want a whole lot of dessert. But I like to give them, enough for their money, right? So
I don't know about them, but I like my dessert.
right, there you go. So, but at home, you can cut these as small or as big as you like. What I like to do is just make 2 cuts down the length of it. You can see how
You can
moist
see,
it is.
yeah, I was about to say the same thing. You can see the milk in there.
Yeah.
Just
It's almost like
it's not like a regular cake. It's just
at this point, it's almost like a bread pudding would look like at this point.
exactly
Just a different process. So I like to do that and then make another 2 cuts this way.
So basically, it's almost like a cake and a bread pudding back to back.
Pretty much, yeah. So this one, we're gonna get some big chunks on this side for show purposes. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
You wanna make sure you cut through it so it's easy to come off. So at this point, we're gonna take our topping and you just wanna basically spoon that over.
That's your homemade Cool Whip.
Right. And
It looks exactly the same.
yeah, when I used to work at K. Paul's, they would actually make this same topping, and they would add any kind of liqueur, any kind of I've seen them make it with champagne, and add it to the actual cream and then whip it.
Almost like an amaretto or
pretty much. You can add really
Triangoli or
anything.
something, or
You want to add some Grand Marnier, Frangelica, any kind of liqueur would work. If you want to, just kind of, go out on a limb at home,
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, so at this point, we're gonna take some Saigon cinnamon. It's just some really, really good cinnamon.
Okay.
And this just kind of tops it off. It kind of gives it just another little, layer of flavor. And you don't want to go too heavy with it, but you just, you want to get enough on there. So we're just gonna do that. Just like
Really,
that.
really nice.
Yes. So, all right, let's try to get one out of here without messing it up. Let's see if I can get underneath that. Let's see. Not working.
I can see all the milk and everything
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
See?
Beautiful.
Yep. All right. Wash my hands. So at this point, just want to wipe off our plate so you can see all the milk kind of close up in there. Just want to take a few strawberries for garnish. Also gives it just another little bit of flavor in there. Let's see, put it that way, it look pretty.
Nice and appealing, yes.
Yeah, you pretty
Very,
much-
very nice.
Very simple.
I'm sure we can enjoy that
You see
after a
at home?
while. Very, very nice. Again, all the stuff that Jason used here today can be found at your local Piggly Wiggly stores or Cash Saver here in Opelousas. And we have 2 locations here in Opelousas to serve you. We have 8410 Highway 182 North for the Piggly Wiggly.
Right,
And,
Cash Savers, 1305 Heather Drive.
we'll be glad to serve you,
Right.
whatever you want to do. And get all your fresh ingredients there. And Jason, if we're looking for somebody to do a show with us, how do they do it?
You can email me at Chef Huguet, that's ChefHuguet @ or they can call me here at 337-826-7227. And
Or they can call Miss Kathy at Delta Media,
yep.
and they can schedule a show for them. Well, thank you all for watching What's Cooking Show. Join us back for next week with another good chef.